Hello again, Bill Jones, recapturefederalism.com, recapturefederalism.com on the net, my website. Nobody ever sees it. Suppressed. On YouTube, Google, suppressed by YouTube, Google. We've talked about this. But I keep trying. I'll keep going. I'm suppressed by the media. They don't ever talk about me. And I filed treason. Notice the treason. A year ago. Nobody has me on to talk about it. Nobody prints stories about it. Suppression, suppression, suppression. But that's why I come to you, Mr. President. Mr. President of treason. Notify the President about it. Treason. And we do. What are we doing? What are we going to talk about today? Oh, a subject very close to your heart. Oh, very close to your heart today. President Trump, Part 15, Treason, Usurpation by Judicial Communist Party. What? Yeah, we're talking about communism. And first of all, I got to take my oath. Take my oath. I, William R. Jones, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, so help me God. I first took that oath in July 1965 when I joined the United States Navy. The enemy then was communism, as the enemy now is communism. It's communism, communism, communism has been going since since the birth of our country. And it's steadily picked up. And when I say I will support and defend the Constitution, Article 3, Section 3 of the Constitution, by the way, it has not flow. It's not a flowing document. That's what the communist propaganda and the communists want you to believe. The progressive, socialist, Liberation Front, American Liberation Front, all these organizations, 50% of the people, they're brainwashed. Thought reform, psychology of totalism. Good book, 1963. Mr. Lifton wrote it. Yeah, Lifton. I recommend it. You want to look for Chapter 5 and Chapter 22 of that book. And it talks about brainwashing, Chapter 5. Well, the whole book is about brainwashing, thought reform, know the language of communism, and all that kind of stuff. But that communism, that's treason in the United States. And they say, but communism abolishes eternal truth and abolishes all religion and all morality. So, the Communist Party, the Democratic Party of the United States, abolishes all religion and have established atheism as a state religion, a statism. Political party supremacy. And the communist disdain, that was page 26. And page 34 of the Communist Manifesto, I'm going to do the Cliff Notes version today. The communists disdain to conceal their views and aims. They openly declare their ends can be attained only by the forcible overthrow of all existing social conditions. Let the ruling classes tremble at the communistic revolution. Communistic revolution. Revolution. 2383, I guess it is. Revolution. Insurrection. That's what you have going on. Have been since 1886. Haymarket Square, Chicago. And that's what you have. A communistic revolution by the judicial system this last week. By the judicial system. Usurpation of we the people's rights. A theft of the rights of we the people. And they've taken the rights of secure government. The executive branch of the United States is attempting to ensure domestic tranquility. The Constitution. And what is it? The Communistic Party judiciary stepping in, speaking for all the people on the interest of the Communist Party, the Communist Democratic Progressive Party of the United States. That's who they're talking about. Consent, not of the people, but consent of the party leadership and George Soros, David Brock, and lobbyists, and yeah. Usurpation, treason. Now, where do I get the, did this in the previous presentation. We're going to do cliff notes of the George Washington farewell address in 1796, which was originally, it was updated, because originally it was going to be a farewell address in 1792, but he decided to run another 4 years, and he knew he could win. Why? Why did he do that? Why did he do that? Because he knew John Adams was a party animal. Yeah, a party animal, party supremacy. And so he didn't want to, he was trying to hold off on as much as he could. So he ran another 4 years. He had a second administration. He was a non-party individual. He didn't believe in parties. He wrote in the farewell address, 5-6 paragraphs. In this last paragraph, he wrote about parties and the faults of the parties. Let me read this. The spirit of encroachment tends to consolidate the powers of all the departments in one, and thus create whatever form of government a real despotism. And that's what we have today. That's what we have today. The judiciary coming in, and they're jumping in the branch. The other two branches. They're going to decide what security, what vetting, and whether we're going to vet or not. And let's see. Communists are further reproached with desiring to abolish countries and nationalities. Page 25 in the Communist Manifesto. That's where the courts are at. They're communist. Treason. Traitors. Oh, don't talk bad about them. Don't talk bad about them judges. Oh, they're independent. They're not independent. They're not independent. You got Democratic Supreme Court justices. You got all these. They're all party. Yeah, and they boo God. 2012 in their convention. Boo God. Because they've established atheism as a state religion. Yeah. Engels and Marx were atheists. They wrote the confessions, communist confessions of faith. Yeah. Okay. And further, we read in this same paragraph from the George Washington farewell address. I mean, I just talked about the judges. They have one party. They don't believe in the legislation party. They don't believe in the executive branch. Well, they're acting like they still running the country. When they're the executive branch, they lost an election. But they don't recognize that. They got voter fraud going on, and we should win. We got voter fraud. We got it all set up. We should win. You lost. Bastard, you lost. You commie bastard, you lost. Yeah. If in opinion of the people, the distribution or modification of constitutional powers be in any particular wrong, let it be corrected by an amendment in the way which the Constitution designates. Okay. Get it out straight. Okay. They do an amendment. That means also you won't find any party mentioned in political parties mentioned in the Constitution. It doesn't exist. There's no legal basis or authority of it. I told you in previous presentations, and I'm going to read some of Romans 13. The authority of government is from God. Yeah, God. That's where we have the Ten Commandments from. That's the basis of our legal system. Basis of our legal system. And you're tearing that apart too. But here's the thing. But let there be no change by usurpation, for through this in one instance may be the instrument of good, it is customary weapon by which free governments are destroyed. Free governments are destroyed by usurpation. And that, gentlemen, is what you have done. The governor of the state of Washington, the attorney generals, all these filings, all from Democratic Party central headquarters, Communist Party central headquarters, Progressive Party headquarters. That's what you got going on. Usurpation, the stealing of the rights of one individual or group of people by another. Usurpation. And that's what you got going on. That's what you have going on. Now, let me get my Bible. Yeah, I don't do this as much as I should, because first of all, this Muslims, you think of Muslims, Muslims is Islam. Radical Islamist is a religious cult. I think maybe the entire Islamic faith, maybe the Islamic faith may be a false faith, false religion, cult. Definitely the radical Islamic groups are a cult. They meet all the standards of a cult. They discriminate and hate, it's a hate crime, hate Jews and Christians. They're atheistic based, I believe, just like the Communist Party and the Democratic Party booing God in 2012. Yeah, discrimination against Christians. So you do the consent, majority of the people in the United States are Christians, say they're Christians. And you are discriminating against Christians, Democratic people. Vote for Democrats, what have you, putting the party ahead of God. But we're going to talk about Romans 13. And we'll go right from the beginning. Let every soul be subject to the sovereign authorities, for there is no power which is not from God, and those who are in authority are ordained by God. Whoever therefore resists a civil authority resists the command of God, and they who resist shall receive judgment to themselves. Okay. Not authority of Engels and Marx, the atheist, but authority from God. And whoever resists the civil authority resists the command of God, and they who resist shall receive judgment to themselves. Uh-oh. You know what that means? Oh, man. Condemnation. Damnation. For judges are... Here we go. Judges. For judges are not a menace to good works, but to evil. Now, the voting, the Ninth Circuit, they're working for evil. They're working for the evil spirits, the 7 deadly sins, by their voting and decision. Let me go back. For judges are not a menace to good works, but to evil. Now, if you wish not to be afraid of authority, then do good, and you will be praised for it. Uh-oh. What if you do bad? Like your decision, the bad decision, you're not going to be praised for it. Oh, you're going to be criticized. Oh, yeah. And should be criticized by Christians and Jews. And then verse 4. For the ruler is a minister of God for good. But if you do which is wrong, be afraid, for he is not girded with the sword in vain, for he is the minister of God, and an avenger of wrath upon those who commit crime. And you know what you need to have? You need to have Congress step up and, with balls, impeach these judges who are making these bad decisions. They ain't following the law. They ain't following the Constitution. It's in the Constitution. You impeach people. You put them in, you question them, blah, 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 blah. And then when they do wrong decisions in favor of the party supremacy, you do nothing. It's because you're all part of the same party. Yeah. Get some balls and impeach the bastards. With that, I'm gone for the day. Bye.